Leslie. Welcome back to my channel. If you haven't already subscribed, then hit that subscribe button. If you have, thank you for joining me again. So today I'm going to be taking you guys to work with me. I am working a 7P to 7A shift today. So I'm doing the night shift today. And I'm going to take you guys to work with me and show you guys as much as I can show you at work without violating the HIPAA laws or anything of that nature. So I'll just show you how my day goes for night shift. And I'll check in with you guys periodically to let you know what's going on and just give you guys the rundown on how my day goes for night shift. So today's April 22nd. Today's Wednesday. And I live about 20 to 25 minutes away from work. So I'm trying to get to work on time. So we'll pray that I get to work on time. So usually when I work night shift, I like to try to fit in like a 2-hour nap if I can, so that I'm well prepared to stay up all night for work. Sorry, the sun is just all in my face. So that I'm prepared to stay up for work. So 2-hour nap, then I take a shower, pack my food that I'm gonna eat on break tonight. Then I try to leave the house by like between 6:15 and 6:20 to make it to work on time. The last time I worked was, sorry, I had the window down in case it was hard to hear me. The last time I worked was, today's Wednesday, so I worked on Monday. I was off Tuesday, so I worked on Monday. That was morning shift though. And when I worked on Monday, I had, I started off with 3 patients, and they sent the nurse home because our census were low. And then I ended up taking on one of the nurse's patients that they sent home. So then I went up to 4 patients. Then I went back down to 3 by the end of the shift because I discharged a patient. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes tonight. We'll see how many patients I have. If for those of you who do not already know, I work on a med-surg unit. Yes, I work on a med-surg unit, so the ratio is 4 to 5 patients to 1 nurse. So, and now that we're dealing with this pandemic, the census have been low because we're trying to encourage everyone to stay home if it's not a true emergency, or if you are admitted, they'll do the workup and they'll send you home as soon as possible. The doctors will discharge the patients as soon as possible, as soon as it's safe to do so, and they feel like, they can treat themselves at home with whatever prescriptions they're prescribed. As of 2 weeks ago, it is now a requirement for my hospital that we all wear face masks. We all have to wear face masks. As we're entering the hospital, everybody has to have a face mask on. If not, you're going to get stopped. On my unit, We have to wear face masks, of course. And if you're going into a patient's room, we now have to enforce wearing face masks, and we have to wear a face shield. So face mask and face shield combined when going into a patient's room. I'm trying to think of any other new things that have occurred since this pandemic. So that's all I can think of right now. As I remember more, I'll be sharing with you guys. And like I said, I will try to fill you guys in as much as possible today on this work shift. So normally on my commute to work, I listen to music. I turn on the radio and just listen to the radio, or if there's nothing good playing on the radio, I will hook my phone up and listen to my Afro beats. And that really gets me energized when I turn on my Afro beats. That gets me all energized and ready to work my 12 hours or 12-hour plus work shift for tonight. All right, so I'm going to catch up with you guys when I actually get to work. All right, you guys, I made it to work safely. Thank God. I parked in the garage. I normally park in the garage. I normally park in the garage because I don't like parking on the street. I don't trust street parking. So I stick to what I know and what I've been used to doing, which is parking in the garage. So I'm putting my mask on per hospital policy. Make sure everything is in place. So now I'm inside my hospital building. I'm actually on my unit now. So the first thing I do is walk to the break room, use the hand sanitizer first. Then I'm going into the break room to put my belongings away in my locker. I take my lunch, I put it in the refrigerator. And then I gather the rest of my stuff and go get report from the nurse, from the day shift nurse. But before I get report, I use the SaniCloth sanitizer to disinfect my work area. And we use COWS, Computer on Wheels, to do our documentation and to work with giving medications and all that good stuff. So I'm just cleaning down my computer that I'm going to be using for the day. Clean it down thoroughly. And then at this point, I have gotten report from the daytime nurse, and it's all written out on this Cardex report sheet. So I started off with three patients. So I got report on all three of my patients. And now I am looking in the computer system, in our Epic computer system, to review the orders, make sure everything I got in report aligns with what's in the orders, and just reviewing the orders to make sure the nurse didn't forget to tell me anything. All right, so this is how we look when we're going into the patient's room. I have the face shield on with my face mask, and even though the patients are COVID negative, we still go into the rooms like this. So now I'm in the medication room, and in the medication room, we have supplies that we can gather to start our day off. So I just grabbed alcohol pads, some Curalex caps for the IVs, some syringes, and some flushes. We always need flushes. Flush those IVs. So I'm still in the medication room. Right now I'm gathering my patients' medications. I'm getting ready to give them their 10 o'clock meds, which can be given as early as 9 o'clock. So I'm in the Pyxis system, selecting my patients and getting ready to pull the meds. I'm double checking, triple checking to make sure I'm pulling the correct med for the correct patient and the correct amount, which the Pyxis walks you through anyway and tells you how many meds you need for each patient, the quantity and whatnot. So then I put them in the plastic baggies. Each patient has their own plastic bag, so I don't get anything mixed up or confused. And then I label that bag with the patient's name and room number. So right now I'm just labeling. Grabbing another baggie for my next patient. And at this point, I have all the medications I need. Hey, you guys. So I had to find a place where I could update you guys. I hope you can hear me through this mask. So it is now 11 o'clock, and whew, it's hot in here. So when I first got in, I got my report from the nurses, the day shift nurses, and I started off with three patients. So three patients. One of them, she's here because she has anemia, and she's also having abdominal pain. My other patient is here because she's been experiencing chest pain for 2 weeks. And my third patient that I had when I first came in, the third patient that I got report on when I first came in, she is here because she was actually supposed to leave today, but she's having placement issues, so they're trying to figure out what rehab to place her at. So then I just got an admission, literally like, I want to say 20 minutes ago, just got an admission, and she was admitted because of nausea and vomiting. So they're going to do the whole GI workup for her. Please ignore these last strands of lashes that are hanging on for dear life. they're being stubborn and they do not want to fall off. So I pretty much did all my assessments already, and I've medicated all my patients up till this point. All the medications that were due before 11 o'clock or at 11 o'clock have been given. So, yeah, I just want to let you guys know what's going on. I want to check in. Unfortunately, I cannot show you guys everything I'm doing, but I will be periodically checking in to update you all to let you all know what's going on. Trying to think if I'm forgetting anything. Yep, so altogether I have 4 patients in total. Keeping my fingers crossed that it stays like that through the night, but you never know. You never know, you never know. But right now what I'm about to do is catch up on my documentation and yeah, so I'm just gonna document the rest of my assessments and I will check in with you guys later. Hey you guys. So I am so hungry. Wait a second. I'm on break now, as you can see, and I'm eating. My patients are fine. They are resting in bed. I just gave those who needed pain medications their pain medications. There's only one patient who's giving me kind of a hard time, and she's refusing her antibiotics, both her oral and her IV antibiotics. So I did page the doctor to let them know, and so they are aware, and I documented everything. So I'm just gonna finish my food, and I will catch up with you guys a little later. All right, so at this point, I'm in our clean utility supply room where all our supplies are for the unit, and I'm grabbing 0.9 normal saline to hang along with the IV antibiotic. Also grabbing my tubing, my primary tubing, and my secondary tubing. So I have those in my hand now. Now I have to grab some labels to label the tubing. And I figured while I'm already in the supply room, I'll just gather supplies to draw her labs. So she's going to be getting BMP, which is the green top. And I'm going to draw a CBC on her, 2 lavender tops for CBC. And also the connector that I'm going to use to connect to her PICC line. Hey, you guys. So it is currently 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm checking back in with you guys. So I just gave one of my patients her pain medication because she's been in so much pain since she came on the unit. That's my admission. So since she came on the unit, she's been in a lot of pain. So I just gave her her Purine. The lot that was due. The doctor came down and spoke to her about her antibiotics because she refused it earlier, like I told you guys. So after he spoke to her, she finally agreed to take the antibiotics, which was great. She also has a PICC line, so I drew her labs already.
My other three patients, they've been sleeping. I haven't really had to do, I haven't done much for them. Wait, my one patient, she asked for PRN Tylenol because she was in pain, so I did give her Tylenol. But other than that, the night's been going well, not too bad. And yeah, for the last couple hours, I would just finish up on some last minute documentation and give my 6 o'clock meds when the time comes around. And that's it for now.
And at this point, towards the end of the shift, I am now catching up on all my documentation, double checking and triple checking to make sure that I have documented everything that I need to document accurately, that I'm not missing anything. That's very important to document because you already know if it wasn't documented, it wasn't done. That's the motto. So, yes, I'm just documenting everything, as you can see. Making sure that I've documented all my assessments, that I've made all the notes, all my necessary notes I need to make in the system, making sure that I've given all the medications that have been assigned at the given times, and so on and so forth. So the shift is officially over, which it wasn't a bad shift at all. It was a pretty good night shift that I had. I had one admission all night, and I stuck to my 4 patients. So I'm officially clocked out. So I am finally home from work. Thank you, Lord. It is currently 8:19, and I'm tired. I'm tired. So the last few hours left of work, I basically gave 6 o'clock medications to my patients, the ones that were scheduled for those patients. And I just finished up last minute documentation and made sure everything was in order for the day shift nurse. Then I gave report to the day shift nurse, and that was it. I clocked out and was on my way. So I'm so glad I'm home now. I'm going to disinfect myself, hop in the shower, and hop in the bed and go to sleep. So when I do night shift, I normally sleep for like 6 to 7 hours. So I probably won't be up till like 3 in the afternoon. And then I'll get ready to do it all over again because I'm working tonight as well. What else? Oh, before I forget, so when I walked into work, they're starting to now take everybody's temperature. So this started this week. They started to now take everyone's temperature. As soon as you walk into the hospital, there are people designated to take your temperature, and if you have a fever, then you'll be asked to leave. You'll be asked to go home, self quarantine, and get tested. Yeah. So that's new. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Yeah, that's it. So as soon as you walk in, you're getting questioned whether you have a temperature, um, and then they're actually taking your temperature. So yeah, guys, I hope you were able to follow this. Come to work with me pretty easy. Hope it wasn't anything too complicated to follow. I tried to show you guys as much as I can, and I checked in with you guys periodically, just to give you guys an update. So, okay, guys, so that concludes this Come to Work with Me. Thank you all so much for joining me, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you all in my next video. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, don't forget to drop them down below. Bye.